Hello and welcome to JK, It's Not About You. I'm Jen Rouse.
And I'm Kelly Mirko, and we're your hosts. We're new empty nesters, and we're here to talk about what the next chapter looks like.
For so long, we were taxi drivers,
Domestic engineers, chefs,
tutors, cheerleaders,
and everything else that goes along with being a parent.
no days off, no paid vacation, and very limited time to pursue our own passions. It just wasn't about us.
It really wasn't. Join us on this new endeavor as we find passions in all things empty nesting. The little birdies have flown the coop and they're living their best lives, and now it's our turn. We're sweating through our 50s trying to figure it all out.
From resetting on marriage, navigating divorce, dating at 50, we're here to reclaim our calendars, our bodies, and our newly found identities in this confusing yet exciting new phase of life.
So grab your glass of wine or beverage of choice, your cozy sweats, and join us as we unpack all things real in our 50s. Welcome back.
JK, It's Not About You, episode number 6.
Is this 6? I always get confused.
Number 6.
Okay. I thought that was 6 last
Can't
time.
believe it.
It's just going by so fast.
I know.
love it.
Me too. I look forward to our nights podcasting.
Me too. Every single week.
Yes. Well, we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce her?
I would love to introduce her.
I think we should find out a little bit about Amy.
This is our friend, Amy Renola.
Hi, I'm the original Harvest Ball Queen, circa 1984, Delta, Utah. They've welcomed me many times, but I just wanted to carry that as the title today.
God, you said you were going to be uncomfortable.
I knew she would be so great here.
I know.
Because it's women.
It's women.
Real women.
Well, and whoever else wants to listen, we don't give a shit.
No.
No.
We do not.
Poor Aiden's listening.
I know. Every single episode. Multiple times.
To old ladies.
I know. To old
No,
ladies.
midlife.
No, I knew I was going to love this podcast when you poured me a cocktail.
You're like, I love podcasting.
I love this podcast.
Welcome,
I know.
James.
This is cocktail
Ladies,
hour.
thank you for having me. And can I just say how honored, but how proud I am of you for sharing your voice, because this is a
Thank
nice
you,
place
Aim.
for people to share.
That's so nice.
It is. I'm so proud of both of you. It's not easy for people to do this.
No, it isn't. But
It is not.
It
Here
is
we are.
very fun and creative, and I love it. And I love having a cocktail hour with you. I mean,
I
this
agree.
is like an extra bonus night.
Well, it's like sitting
I
at
know.
your kitchen table, really.
Or yours.
Yeah.
Your bar.
Yes, or mine.
The bar,
So
yes.
we do it
Anyway,
quite often.
Yes.
Well, I would just like to kind of kick this off and maybe talk about a few things that happened last week and kind of recap a little bit
yeah, so what we've been up to, right?
what we've been up to.
I know.
Yeah, we had kind of a big weekend.
We did.
Yes.
We Firewood hosted Jewish bar night, Amy.
Is there a caveat to a Jewish bar night? Do you have? I don't. Could I have been at the Jewish bar night?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a
so.
few non-Jews.
It's an inclusive Jewish bar
It's a
night.
very inclusive group.
Yes.
Um,
It was just a lot of fun. It was packed.
it was great.
You get to meet people who like live around town that you didn't know, people that
Yeah.
you check out different restaurants, different bars, obviously.
Right,
yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was great.
The leader of that group, this lady, is just a riot.
We have to have her on.
We do. She just puts together just really fun activities for
She puts
everyone.
it together at different venues around town.
Yeah,
and
does.
it's
people
once
come.
a month or
Oh,
or
I'm
no,
coming.
maybe it's once a quarter.
Could they use
Yeah,
a
I'm not
Harvest
sure.
Ball Queen at one of these Jewish
You
nights?
need to come next time. You need to come next time.
I'm coming for sure.
Because you got to meet some of these people are just funny.
and then
And it's
you
all
just go out.
ages.
You go out on the town after and hang out.
I mean, it was Santa Crawl night.
Oh, Santa Paul Crawl.
So-
We did not this time actually,
Oh.
but we did.
Still,
we crawled
looked
the
it
last
up.
time. No lack of fun.
That sounds unusual.
Yeah.
For you too. Yeah.
Yeah, we crawled on the night you weren't supposed to crawl on, actually.
We had some fun. Shuffleboarding.
Oh yeah,
The no name.
yeah,
Oh,
the whole
God.
thing.
Oh yeah.
No name.
You love
Yeah.
it.
Once we're on Main Street, it's kind of like
Yeah,
wow.
You're all in.
And then you guys are the OGs, right? Like you guys go to the OG spots. Like I mean, we do. I mean, we love the new stuff too, but I would say we hit the OGs.
Yeah.
I
we
agree.
go.
I agree.
Jeez.
We're the Spur. We're the No Name, which used to be the
100%.
Mo, right?
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to kind of touch on this Franklin fire situation.
It's really
Since
bad.
we're
It's really bad.
Yeah.
just
Broke
thinking
out.
about Sarah,
Yeah.
and what's happening there.
Yeah, Malibu is on fire again. Pepperdine, she kind of did a smart thing and got out really early before they had a forced shelter in place in the library, which you could see the flames on TV and everything. I mean, Malibu, this is just par for the course, and it's just the dry Santa Ana winds plus the dry brush, and it just can just like light these trees and everything. It's so scary in these canyons. And so I was woken up at 1:30 in the morning that this had happened, and it was terrifying because I just worry about her. And I worry about everybody in that situation, all the people watching. If you're part of, I feel so bad just to have to deal with that, and the horses and the animals and the.
Well, you have your whole family. You have Sarah, but you have everyone else there too.
Oh yeah, my brother had to evacuate. Helicopters were going over his house, and so it was a little stressful. Yes, so that happened.
But Sarah, of course, being Sarah, got out of there before she had to stay. And where is she now?
She's in Disneyland.
Oh, perfect. I can't think of a better shelter in place, people. Shelter in place.
You
shelter where you're comfortable.
She got her Disney ears.
Yeah,
she was
my
out of there.
God, thank God. She's hanging out with
sure
Missy and Minnie right now. Just like, hey, we're in the clear, people.
So hilarious. She waits until the finals are now like online. So she's like, my last final is going to be online. Yeah. We're going to go to Disneyland. I'm like, okay. She's like, there's no smoke there.
I would expect nothing
I said,
from her.
Great, Sarah. But the next thing you know, I'm getting emails funneled in. You parents with kids in college, you know this.
Yes.
Mom, I need Skims. I have no underwear. I have no underwear. I have no clothes. I left my dorm. Mom, what happens if my dorm burns down?
When you get out, you get out.
And she got out. So she got a few things.
Your
Century City Mall was happy to see her.
I love, my favorite mall.
And then my favorite, she's supposed to come home for winter break. This is a good kid story.
Yes.
So I said, Sarah, she goes, well, I'm not driving back to Malibu. I'm not going back to the war zone. And I said, okay.
This is so great.
So you're going to go to Disneyland. What's the plan then? Your flight here is on Friday.
And she has no clothes, nothing.
Nothing. So she has no suitcase. No, nothing. And she says, well, I'm just going to leave my car at the airport.
Thank God.
For a month.
She's a thinker, like it's so cheap. Let's just leave it at the airport.
She goes, it's okay for a month.
Not the Walmart parking lot that's free.
Or better yet, can I just leave it in Santa Monica?
Like, let's on the road.
My God.
Just anywhere.
Sure, wherever you need, honey.
Wherever you need.
Wherever you need. We'll take care of it later.
Throw the placard up and everyone will just be there forever.
Care of it later.
No.
I'm like, if you would like to call Wally Park and ask them for a student fire escape discount that maybe you can keep your car there for a month.
She has to be able to go get her stuff.
She has to go get her stuff.
So she says she's going to assess on Thursday, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Sarah.
Oh my God.
Our next recap, I will let you know what happened with her vehicle.
Okay. But anyway, she is safe.
She's safe.
And she's having fun.
And she's home.
Well,
yes.
good.
Yes. And we're going to have her on while she's home because I think she is a good person to chat with. And
100%. Well, she's smarter than anybody we know.
Yes.
So it's hard to keep up.
I know. That's true.
I'm just saying, when you're with her, you're like, okay. Yes. Everyone we know is a dumbass.
That is going to be fun.
Amazing.
It'll be really fun. But today we're going to talk about our favorite subject.
Menopause.
I was just thinking it was getting a little hot.
It is hot in here.
Yeah,
I'm always hot.
And I wore the wrong bra.
And I know. I said, take off your shirt.
No, I can't. It's not cute. It's not. It's supportive, but
How'd
it's not
you know
cute.
You'd be in a
No
underwire.
No underwire, but it's still
I asked
really
Kelly
hot.
to cold lunch today. She wasn't into it.
It is a bralette. I only wear bralettes now. It's terrible because I can't have any underwire. I don't want anything that clips in the back.
Nothing strangling you.
No, nothing that goes anywhere off the shoulder. No, nothing that crisscrosses in the back. I can't do any of it.
Yeah.
I just want it
We don't
very
want
light.
you
I want a light wear.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's all about comfort.
It is. But this
If
is...
we could just put a fan in it, that would be lovely.
So Kelly, you can tell us some of the...
I think it's just such, for me, just a very real subject. I think it hits everyone at different ages. I think it hits everyone differently in general. Some people sweat more than others. Some people, like my grandma, just skipped right over it, never even batted an eye at it.
Yeah. And I think it's a real conversation to have because really not everyone has the symptoms. They don't. They just do not. And in fact, I just watched the greatest documentary. It's called The M Factor.
Okay.
And it's all these really smart women, all these doctors who hit menopause and went, what do we do?
Yeah. And
the greatest thing that I think I learned from that is 85% of women will have symptoms. The other 15 are going to slide by. Yeah. And so, but for years, none of the women that we know in our lives my mother wasn't on hormone replacement. My grandmother wasn't on it. And they just shriveled up to this little tiny thing at the end of their lives. We don't want that.
Look at my grandma.
I don't want that. Mine too.
Little, like
my mother too. She just shriveled up
all
into
of
this
it.
little tiny
Yeah.
thing. And we don't need to live like that, I don't think.
No.
I think there's a better way.
There
I
is
think there's a better
definitely
way.
a better way. I mean, I have recently, I would say within the last 4 weeks, 4 weeks, been on this estrogen patch. Got it on. Replace it twice a week.
Yep.
It's really changed my life.
So that's been the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has been the key for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's many ways to go. There's creams, there's pills, there's
listen,
patches.
I have
You've done it all, Kel.
I really have.
I mean, when you're sweating from your eyeballs, I'm like, we got to figure this out.
I mean, the
She's
wicking
hotter than
situation.
anyone we know.
The wicking
Jen,
situation.
she's hotter than
I have
anyone
tried.
we know.
I have tried everything.
She's so hot.
I have tried everything known to man.
Okay,
I
let's
have
show the
wiped
viewers
her
what
arm
Kate
of
bought you
sweat.
for Mother's Day.
Oh,
I have wiped her
This
arm
is
with
what Jen
sweat.
said about me.
See, this is a
he
helpful
got everyone else flowers, but he got me this fan, and my hair has to be back, otherwise it eats it up. But
My God.
it's really kind of life changing. I mean, I could sell these like off of my body
I feel
as
like
I'm
that's
walking
gonna
around.
get caught in your
You
hair
could walk
right now.
around with your fan.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing.
So funny.
Yeah, I didn't get flowers. I got a fan.
Yeah.
I know, because everyone knows you're sweating, Kelly.
I mean, people send me memes, not daily, but weekly. And they're like, I thought of you when I saw it. And it's like someone's head on
Every time
steaming.
Every
You
time
know?
I put a piece of clothing on, I'm like, would Kelly be hot in this?
Always.
Kelly couldn't shed this. I'm not going to
It's
wear
so
this.
funny. I mean,
I
I
don't
had
want
it, but not like you.
I mean-
and it was so funny. Like she came
no
up with
one
this
had it
plan.
like her.
She had this plan of buying the wick, like sleeping,
yeah.
sleeping.
I was like, I'm going to go to
and work out
Nike.
here.
I'm going to go to Nike and buy all this wicking
remember.
stuff.
I
Like, I don't
remember.
even care. Like, I'm just going to put it on. And
I'm
John's
like,
like,
we're active. We're to bed.
active wear. Yeah, to bed.
Well, and I think the layering is the way to go.
I slept on
because then she could
towels.
start,
Remember that?
and then she could just layer and then
I
add
don't
a fan.
I don't sleep all night because I'm like trying to fix my towels, you know?
It's a lot of wardrobe.
Okay, but now
wardrobe
I
choices.
sleep in sweatpants, even though I'm hot. At least the sweatpants absorb the sweat.
so miserable.
Okay.
That's miserable.
It really
So
is.
why do we do it? Why do we do that?
Why do we sweat?
I no. Why don't? Now we know.
Well,
better.
why do we suffer?
Why do we suffer? Because now
Well,
we
I
know.
suffer because I'm stubborn, but I mean, I think
you're
I don't
kidding.
Know.
Amy and I did it.
Well, I did.
I know.
And I will say that it is not everyone knows what they're doing with it, right? You can't just go to they get no training.
Yeah.
Very little if they get any. And not everybody knows. And there was a study that came out in 2002 with the Women's Health Institute, and the study was wrong. They figured out the study was wrong. So they studied preventative for menopause, but they studied the women who already had the problems. They said it was, you would get heart disease, you would get blood clots.
Yeah.
And then, so guess
You mean
what?
with the HRT?
With hormone replacement.
Yeah.
And you know what? We don't. It was
Yeah.
wrong. The study was wrong. So a whole generation of women missed out on not being hot and not being problematic.
No one's educated.
Yeah.
We are just getting educated. Like our generation is finally like starting to figure it out.
Right.
So,
The first generation of Gen Xers will turn 60 this year. I'm 55. They will
51.
turn 60.
I'll be 53.
You're 53. So at 53,
I'm 52, but I'll be 53.
well, I know. I in February.
Hang on to those months.
Oh my God, Kelly! Just hold on. But the net of it is, I have been through where you were. I have been through where you were, and it was uncomfortable. Like I had shoulder surgery. I thought, what is wrong? I thought my body was just going to hurt. I really
was the
believed
way it
that.
was gonna be.
I believed
This is
this
the new
is
way?
just where you go, and you just drink
terrible.
vodka
Yeah.
to get through it. And like I really believe
Yeah.
that's where we were going to be. And the truth is,
You don't have to suffer.
You do not.
No.
And you don't need to feel bad.
No.
You don't. But not every person you go see that can prescribe knows what they're doing.
100%, like anything else.
You
right?
gotta go like anything else. So
Right.
you gotta find your people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just very real. And I think that, if you don't find what works for you out of the gate, I would just say keep on going.
Keep on trucking.
That's how I felt. Like finding the right people and
Yeah.
then following you know what?
Yes.
And you
So
have to
bad.
do the test, the saliva test, the blood, over, right?
You really do. And I think that even if you're testing with, even if you're just testing blood, it might not be enough. and even if you're just testing with saliva, you got to find your person.
Who does it
Not everyone is going to be suited for you. And again, let's go back to they're not trained on menopause.
Yeah.
Biden finally just gave money for women's studies. Finally. Is it going to be all for menopause? No. But
Well, at least it's leaving.
but a big chunk of it will be.
I think it's like it's
yeah.
finally being talked about.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
look at-
let's talk about the weight gain.
Oh, I think
Oh,
menopause is having a Me Too movement.
I
man.
mean, let's just talk about that.
Oh my hell.
I mean, you've changed nothing. You still exercise.
Yeah.
You still are eating right. You're still doing your normal routine.
Oh my God, let's talk about my ears itched.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with my ears?
No, I want to talk
Menopause,
about
shoulders,
weight
weight
gain.
gain is terrible.
It's terrible.
And it just grow, and you've eaten nothing different.
and you starve more,
Yeah.
and you
you're-
get
yeah.
fatter.
Yeah.
And it's really all but again, working with the right people.
But if you can move into a space where you're working with somebody who helps all of those things,
It's helpful.
it's helpful.
Yes.
And it is, and I don't even want to say it's helpful. I would tell you ladies that it helped me thrive. It helped me thrive because I was going downhill fast. You guys just watched me gain 25 pounds. And
Well, no,
lose it.
and you know what?
It was
You know
terrible.
what the hard thing to watch.
It was terrible.
And I want other people to think about, or they probably feel this way. Is you just feel so down on yourself.
All the time.
You
Yeah.
feel disgusting. You feel like, sad because it's like, okay,
It's just depressing.
it
Well, yeah, but
is.
brain
And for
brain fog
me-
is a real thing.
Yeah, and I'm sweating so much. I'm like, at least make me thin. You know, like I should
doesn't
be
work.
Right. Like
mean-
you look like you're running a triathlon. Let's just lose some weight with it.
I look like I'm in a sauna. I mean,
too.
like
Kelly.
dripping.
I've never seen anybody's eyebrows.
I
sweat.
woke her up. We were staying in Vegas, and I got up in
God.
the middle of the night, and I was literally dripping on my way to the bathroom.
I have seen
And I
that.
turned the light on. I go, Jen, I'm so sorry to wake you. I go, but you got to look at my body.
It's too much.
She was like,
I've never seen.
I just
anything.
remember wiping her
Beads.
arm and then it would just bead back up. I'm like, something's wrong. We got to go to the ER.
so bad.
It's so bad.
really bad.
But I don't think it needs to be. I know. I
No,
think
so
that's
now we're
is that not
patched.
our message today?
Our
Is there's a
message
way
today
to
is that
go?
there's help out there,
And
our
keep
message
talking.
today is that what
Talk
you're
about it
yeah, and
with
that,
your-
that
yeah.
if you're sweating your ass off,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's things out there to help you, you
And
know.
your friends, and it's like it's okay to talk about.
And
it's okay to,
trial and
yeah.
error. You know, just because something
Yeah.
doesn't work doesn't mean something else can't. And you
Well,
really
and-
have to like find what works for you.
And I think it
It's
affects
important.
every piece of your life. It affects my sexual life, which I am a highly sexual person. I've been with my husband for 30 years. And I will tell you it affected that first. Well, I could take a lot of sweating and a lot of night sweats and a lot of weight gain.
To sleep.
Not having sex and not sleeping.
Terrible.
Forget it.
Yeah,
The sleep
terrible.
is the
The
worst.
sleep is the worst.
Yeah.
The
It
sleep,
is bad.
the sleep, I still would say that is what
That's
so
it's
many
hard for
women
me,
struggle
too.
with.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
you read about like the 3 a.m. It's like super common.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many people our age are waking up at 3 a.m. Like
Right, 'cause
it's just
that's when your cortisol goes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think sweating or not, I think that
Right.
that's just like another part of it. I think that that's
Yeah.
another normal, aspect of going through menopause. But I mean, just it's a road. It's hard.
It's a road. It's a road.
exhausting
But
sometimes.
I don't think it needs to be anymore. I think
No.
that the conversation's been opened.
Yeah.
And I think that
I
it,
agree.
like I said, it's having
I wanted
its
to
Me
ask
Too
you
movement.
something
Yeah.
too. Like we did that Wim Hof thing together, and
Oh.
I've been cold plunging. Are you cold plunging?
So I'm not cold plunging right now, but I do a 2-minute cold shower
Oh, you do?
almost
And don't
every
you
day.
think that helps with the hormone?
100%.
Yeah.
But it's not a fix. I don't think
No, it's not a fix.
I don't think anything is a fix but the therapy. the
Did
hormone
you ever
therapy.
go into saunas?
No, I would
Kelly
never.
refuses
Do you
cold
think
plunge.
that would help?
Hey, listen up, hot yoga queen. I'm not going into a hot yoga
I
class.
don't like it either.
I don't like any of that. I
That's
don't.
actually like I will tell you the best two places to have a hot flash. One would
Because
be
you're already hot.
well, you're in the car. It's
Yeah.
a great one because you can like turn it up or turn it down. So you like if you're going through the egg
Window
hole,
open,
turn it up,
window
the car is the
closed.
best.
Yeah.
The car is the best. Number
Yeah.
one best. Number two is actually hot yoga because you could feel the tingling. It feels like your body's like going on fire, but you're already sweating.
just-
So
But you're
Brimming
already on fire.
Yeah, you're
I could
brimming it
walk
up.
into more fire.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
You love it. I know.
Oh man.
Not me. I will tell you, we just walked through New York City, which I had never been through.
Yeah.
And it just felt good to be chilly. We walked
It's
and
nice.
walked and walked.
Yeah.
And I would rather have to try to get warm than try to cool down.
Yeah.
I really would. And I do think the cold plunging, Jen, I will tell you this, that as soon as I can, I would get a cold plunge thing. But even just the showers help me.
Yes.
Changes my whole day.
It does.
It really changes my whole day.
I can only tell you that since I've been doing it, not only is it a mood lifter, but it is helping whatever my hormone. Unless I'm finally through menopause, which I don't think.
My grandma ended every single shower since I've been born with a cold shower.
Yeah. She's the original cold plunger.
She lived until 98.
Shout out to Margie.
Margie lived to almost 99.
Next month, yeah.
That girl, she got it done.
See?
That
Beyond.
one. She makes us want to be better women.
She makes me want to cold plunge.
It's
true. Cold
But-
plunge. I love it.
It's really true.
But I really do believe in like sweat.
Are you
lodges
cold
as
plunging
well.
still, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every day.
It's getting really hard though.
Yeah.
Because it's cold out.
'Cause it's cold out.
I have to break the ice. The ice has cut my skin a few times. Like I get out, but I don't feel it. And I'm like bleeding.
That's so funny.
You don't have that little
On my
rubber
legs?
ducky you
No
can
way.
just rub through
You're
the
frozen.
I'm
You're
frozen.
numb.
I'm numb.
Are you numb?
So I'm wearing my little hat again. I'm,
Okay.
out there. So I'm doing like 4 days a week.
Yeah. I think any of it is beneficial.
Yeah.
I think even if you can just do the shower thing like I'm
Yeah.
doing, it's
It's
beneficial.
better than nothing.
Yeah. I think that it makes a difference.
Am I the
too,
nothing? I
the
walk
rest-
outside and it's cold.
Well, walking, but we're gonna get
For
you
5 minutes
We're
until
gonna
you have
get
a
you
hot
on the
flash.
next. We're gonna get you on an episode in that cold plunge. You did
Right.
it. We did this Wim Hof, the three of us actually.
Yeah, that was
Do you guys want to
amazing.
do that again?
I would do it again.
I would too.
I
The
would do it
breathing
again.
techniques, the whole
Just
thing.
toss
I
me
had
in
such anxiety with them dumping the ice and
Oh my God.
I
That,
thought I really
that
thought this was a
diaphragmatic-
one and done situation.
No. I'll do it again. That diaphragmatic breathing, though, I still do a lot of that, and that calms your nervous system, which gets jacked up with menopause because whether you like it or not, you get to have cortisol with menopause.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
to
That's why we have this
high
cortisol.
Yeah, I take this. I
anxiety.
brought some of the things that
Oh,
I
you do
use.
this cortisol manager?
I do.
This is good
I
stuff.
do too.
So does Kelly.
Yeah,
That helps
I
sleep.
struggle with this because it has some valerian root in it, which gives me a little bit of restlessness.
And then, of course, I do hormone replacement,
So you
which
know.
is a cream.
Yeah,
and a
I do the
progesterone
cream.
pill.
I do the
Yeah.
progesterone.
And it has changed my life.
Yeah.
But let's be clear that these things aren't covered.
Are these
the
the only two
patches?
things?
The patch is covered by
Are you,
insurance.
Yeah.
but
So these
those-
are the only two things you're doing?
These two and the cortisol manager right
yeah,
now.
that's
for-
all. And the
Yeah.
You're taking no like additional estrogen?
It's in the cream.
Yeah, so my cream has progesterone, testosterone, and
So does
estrogen.
mine.
Yeah, I needed to like soak myself in that. Like there wasn't enough.
You had none.
Well, there's enough.
Yeah.
There's too much. You guys just watched me do that. I got poisoned, really.
Yeah.
I literally did.
God. Yeah, when you go to the wrong person,
Oh, you can't. I've never been so hot in my life. I've never been so sick.
that was so bad.
I went lights out on the chairlift.
That's really scary.
I went lights out. And it was not long, but I knew it was, I could feel it coming on. And the woman who had prescribed it just kept saying, it's so weird. It's so weird. And every week I just put 1 pound, 2 pounds on.
Yeah,
2 pounds,
I
2
remember.
pounds.
You're like,
And I finally went to someone who fixes hormones for
Yeah.
a living. And she said,
let me.
it
redo.
was so much. My testosterone wasn't even on the chart. She had to call the lab. She's like, and they're like, yeah, it's not on
Yeah,
the chart.
off the chart.
It's right.
And
but
what
it's
about
off
all the
chart.
progesterone I was taking?
Oh my God. She told me, I don't know what friends you have. Get them off that progesterone. Call
But
your
it-
friends.
It is like a real thing. You can't
It
just
is
mess around.
when
you
they're
know?
giving you enough that you could transition, and no amount of transition. And shout out to the transitions, love them. Shout out. I'm just saying, I am not trying to transition. I'm trying to calm some hormone
We're
therapy
trying not to
here.
sweat.
Trying not to sweat, and I just want to get in bed and not. My poor husband's freezing. He can't deal
so
with
sad.
it anymore.
You have the window,
Yeah.
snows on your bed.
He just came in today. It's freezing in here, Amy.
John gets in bed. He goes, "Bye, John." And he's like, "It feels like a radiator in here."
You're so
so
hot.
sorry.
I know. Every time I
know.
get ready in the bathroom, I'm like, if you don't want to be cold, don't.
But
come
even
in
our
here.
kids are like, "You flashing?" But now
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
flash, and I don't
Right.
even have
The
to go through the
worst
whole
is the
thing.
airplane.
Yeah.
In the middle seat.
That's really
Yeah,
bad,
yeah.
actually. That's a bad place to be.
Where?
The middle seat on the airplane.
Oh, it's
When
terrible.
you got to touch the
And I
thing,
have to
you're
go-
like, oh my gosh.
Like-
and you can't get your sweater off.
Nope.
No,
It's really
you can
bad.
barely unzip anything.
I was carrying
It's
washcloths
terrible.
in my purse so I could just tuck them under my arms for a while. Remember the washcloths? I was like, I'm just going to carry these fuckers around. And I would just like tuck them.
Didn't you have like a fan?
I
that
have
you
two
could just-
fans. They're upstairs.
and then
in
just
my
bring it
closet.
in.
Out the wash.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
washcloths. Yeah.
See, it is getting better.
So I don't
Yes.
have my hot flashes and night sweats have gone away
Good.
because I'm further along than both of you. You have to remember, I'm deep in. You know, like I'm 55. I've been done for almost 3 years.
Okay. I mean, I've been
3.5,
done like
2.5.
Yeah.
A sweat lodge is from Kelly. That's fucking hysterical.
What is it? A sweat lodge?
I just have to like read through my little notes.
She'll cut this. Don't worry.
I know.
She edits.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not worried.
Okay. I think we
covered everything. Not yet.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But menopause, I think, is just.
I just think that the conversation is open, and I don't think it's going to close anytime soon.
It shouldn't, unless menopause goes away.
You know, millennials now are moving into perimenopause.
Listen,
so we're dragging it. Come on in, girl.
And not only those people, but like I think that our children, you know, are very aware and educated. Like they are going to know, you know. I mean, they're like, my mom went through this. And even my staff at the restaurant, I'm like, 100%. You know, like, I'm like, be kind to your moms, you know, because I'm sure they're going through this.
And I don't want to live the last quarter or a third of my life without hormones. I don't.
No.
It's going to change heart disease for me. It changes the way that I do every sport I want to do. I just thought I was going to be sore and cripple and not be able to wake surf or get, you know, downhill ski or do the things we want to do, skate, ski. I just thought my body's going to be limited now until I started hormone replacement. Then I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to remember to have hormones. My eyes were dry. My ears were itchy. It's 1,000 things that change when you figure it out.
Yes, it is.
When you figure it out.
It is.
When you figure it out.
When you figure it out.
But I will tell you, those 60-year-olds that are going to hit that generation, that Gen X, they're done. They're going to go into their lives. They're going to go into that last sort of their lives with some tools, with some therapies. Yeah. And I think it's going to change the way that our millennial daughters do it. I'm so proud that we have a generation of women who are ready to change things.
Me too.
And they've been educated through us, and I think it's also made them want to like educate themselves a little more.
Because we can drink our way through. It's like we've done everything else.
Well, that's like really in addition to.
Well, we do that too. Yeah.
And none of us are processing that very well either in menopause.
No, we're just sweating it out.
No,
I mean, I am.
Right.
Oh my God, we're all sweating it out. It's too hot.
I smell like Grey Goose like all the time.
That's the way it is.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay. Well, I think we should toast. Cheers.
I think we should toast.
Cheers. Thank you for being
on. Thank you, Amy, for joining today. It was so fun to have you. Will you come back?
Absolutely. I would love to come back.
We have to have you back. We'll do we'll do some more fun subjects. And I think next week we're going to talk to Sarah and Elias about what it was like for Sarah growing up, special needs, and like having somebody witness that, be a part of that, and some of the things I learned parenting her that way, and things I didn't do that she wishes I did, so that we can get some insight on that subject.
I think that'll be great. And Elias is like insight onto how it was having, you know, a very close friend that he had to, you know, help more than his other friends, and how he had to consider, and how everything we do, like when we travel, like everything that we do.
A perspective from both sides.
As a perspective of like a child growing up into,
with somebody like this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
I think it's
so that's going to be, I think, our next subject. Okay. But until then, everybody, JK, it's not about you.
It's not about you.
Nope.
Yes.
It's about me. Get involved.
Get involved, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of JK, It's Not About You.
You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at JK, It's Not About You, and we will address your questions on the next week's episode.
If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family.
Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us.
Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.